Guys, I don't know what time it is, but I just woke up to that. It's like from The Ring. It's scary.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to our road trip across northern England. Right now, we are in York, one of the most beautiful cities in the country, and also one of the most haunted.
So we're gonna start things off by going on a ghost tour. We are gonna hit all of the most haunted places in this town in one night. Are you ready to get supernatural?
Let's do it.
Ooh.
I'm Mark Graham and I run the original Ghost Walk of York.
You might see one.
I'm going to walk around the city, hear some history, mystery, folklore and legends, real ghost stories.
The ghosts are this way.
First ghost story I would like to tell concerns that bridge. In days gone by when there used to be head people, used to place their head on a spike. The spike would go through the neck and out the top. It's haunted by a boy, 10, 11 years old. It was a surprise to see you, as you are to see him.
I think general opinion is pretty evenly divided on whether or not ghosts are real. What are your thoughts?
I don't really believe, but I know that my brother had a recent experience.
I did indeed. I was not a believer, and I am not a believer, but now I'm a believer. Well, my ghost story takes place in Tallinn, Estonia. We were in an Airbnb in the old town. This was one of the few buildings that got bombed in the Second World War. It was obliterated, but only the top part of the building. So we were on the 5th floor. There was a 6th floor above us. I was all alone in the room that night, and I basically had an experience with a poltergeist. There was a series of noises. It sounded like somebody sliding a table on the ceiling above me, then footsteps, then the door shutting, then footsteps running down the stairs, and finally a very large kaboom. That series of noises started at 1 a.m. and continued until 6 a.m. And I was kept up all night. I had cold chills. I had a very strange encounter where I said, ghosts aren't real. And right when I said that, the series of noises happened again, and there was a final kaboom which shook the floor that I was sleeping on. I had to stay there all night. It was really uncomfortable. Whew. So we'll see. Hopefully I don't meet any other ghosts tonight because I didn't enjoy it. If you guys have ghost experiences, please put them in the comment box because I'm super curious.
Interesting little tidbit to add, two things. First of all, we'd heard the thumping a couple nights before, but we thought that there were people partying because the upstairs room was also rented out in Airbnb. But when I went up there, it actually had been empty the whole weekend. Weird. Stranger still, afterwards we logged onto Airbnb and looked at the other reviews, and lo and behold, the people right before us said, amazing place, excellent view of the old town. But all night on our last night, it sounded like elephants were playing sports above us. Coincidence? We gotta go.
The oldest pub in York is the Black Swan, 1417, and it's haunted by a choking sensation. It's not unusual to see people collapse at the bar when people sleepwalk from room to room, woken by some strange noise. They find themselves in cupboards, corridors, other people's bedroom. There's a ghostly figure that dissolves on the stairs. A great old pub full of history.
Alright guys, well, whether or not you believe in ghosts, that was a fun way to spend the evening. We're gonna wrap it up by heading back to the hotel to grab a pint at the Guy Fawkes Inn.
So Guy Fawkes, you might recognize from his mask, which was made famous by the movie V for Vendetta. But here in the UK, he's famous for trying to blow up the Houses of Parliament. Every 5th of November, they have Bonfire Night, which is when they burn his effigy in the streets to celebrate the fact that his treasonous plot failed.
Treasonous plot or not, fact remains that he was born in my hotel room, and the rumors say that his ghost still haunts that place. So I'm gonna drink myself into a drunken stupor and pass out because I don't want to have any no more ghost stories tonight.
Well, you know, could be a worse ghost to be visited by.
Yeah, except he's a pyromaniac.
Yeah.
Bad. I slept here last night and didn't have any problems. So fingers crossed that that is the same story tonight. Because I'm not looking for any unexpected visitors. Any bumps in the night. Guys, I don't know what time it is, but I just woke up to that. It's like the fuck, it's like from The Ring. Scary. How do I turn this thing off? And the bell strikes nigh. Wow, that was kind of a weird way to wake up. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty spooky. Could be coincidence. Could be Guy Fawkes. Thank God he didn't burn my room down. It's a wet but lovely morning here in York, and we are gonna explore York's chocolate scene.
York is famous for its chocolate. We're gonna find out why, but I do know that they invented the chocolate oranges here, the ones that you smash and they open up, which are some of my favorites. So, today's Sunday roast is gonna be a special treat at a country pub, but we're starting off as one does with chocolate for breakfast. Well, we just got to York's chocolate story, which is going to teach us not just the history of how chocolate got to York, but also how to make some chocolate.
Long story short, cacao and cocoa has been consumed in Central America for thousands of years. It was a sacred drink for the Aztecs and the Maya, and when Central America was conquered by the Spanish, the conquistadors brought cocoa beans back to Spain. Over the next couple of hundred years, the recipes and the cocoa bean spread through Europe and eventually arrived here in England.
Here in York, the industry was built by Quakers because their religion prohibited them from dealing with sinful things such as alcohol. Chocolate at that time was not considered sinful, although now we can get a bit gluttonous. Anyways, a couple of different families founded a lot of the brands that we now know today, including Kit Kat, York peppermint patties you guys might recognize in the States.
And those lovely Terry's chocolate oranges.
Yeah. Anyways, so we've learned a little bit about the history, and now we're gonna go dive in and try to make some ourselves.
Let's go.
So today we are going to make some chocolate lollipops, some chocolate bars, and then some chocolate truffles.
With the white chocolate, I'm gonna give some fruit because you know it's always like white chocolate and raspberries. So this is toffee, caramel biscuit.
All right, so the next challenge is to make some chocolate bars. The difference here is that we're gonna put the ingredients in before we pour the chocolate. So for the white chocolate, I'm using blueberries, and to complement that, some honey.
Yes, look at that. It's just grand.
This is like being at Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory. Good thing that I don't work here because I would deplete the entire supply of all ingredients just nibbling all day. After a week, they would say, "Where's everything gone?" And I'd be like, I don't know.
Yum. All right, time to get Sunday roast. Well, that was a fun drive.
Oh yeah.
Right now we're about 45 minutes outside of York in the small town of Sancton.
And I'm excited because we're about to knock out 3 birds with 1 stone. We are at the Star at Sancton, which is a country gastro pub. We're gonna have a Sunday lunch and a Yorkshire pudding, all super typical for this region.
So we're gonna head inside and meet the chef, Ben, who's gonna show us how to make a Yorkshire pudding. and then wine and dine us. Sound good?
I'm excited.
Time to feast.
The Yorkshire pudding on YORKSHIRE, it's simple steps, and that is the beef dripping, the 5 ounce of flour, 1/4 pint of milk, 1/4 pint of our secret ingredient, 5 eggs, salt and pepper and some sage. And then we'll put it into the hot Yorkshire pudding tins in the oven 25 minutes on really hot temperature.
Wow, I love that. It's like slow braised oxtail and it just falls apart in your mouth.
I wish every day was Sunday.
Steak and ale pie done to perfection.
That was a great lunch. I did not know that a pudding was a pastry. Not in America, but this was delicious.
Only in Yorkshire. Well guys, if you enjoyed that video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Vagabrothers. Also, if you have any ghost stories, please put them in the comment box.
All right, guys, in the meantime, stay curious, keep exploring, and we'll see you guys on the road. Stay tuned for the rest of the road trip through north of England.
Peace!